following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Let's take a look at the German DAX. This is really a neat little chart here, folks. The reason why it's how you handle failures. As you can see here, he's looking for the DAX to come down to about the 12,800 level. And, of course, you know, it popped up through there, and that told you that there was something really seriously wrong. And if we take a look at what happened to the DAX after that point, you're going to see that it flat out, hold on, let's get this up here so we can see it. You'll be able to see it up here. You know, there you go. Boy, away it went. So that's what happened. So when they fail badly. So that's something that you want to keep a close eye on. Now let's take a look at the FTSE because it's doing a whole lot different. Hold on one second here. All I got to do is find the little puppy, and where is it? Here it is. We got it right up here. Hold on. I'm going to cover a few questions here, and then I've got a little bit of a talk here about history stuff. And then the other one I want to talk about is we're going to have a special guest at 9:30. The mysterious James Twentyman will be on as our guest at 9:30, calling in from Morro Bay, California on the Pacific Coast. Hold on here. Let's get moving with one other chart that we want to look at. That is the DAX on the 60-minute, and I wanted to show you the larger one if I can find it. Yep, nope, don't have that one. Not going to work. Not going to work too much about it. Okay, let's take a quick look. We had a question about the South African rand against the U.S. dollar. Now, this is important because the rand has 80% of the world's platinum is done in South Africa. Now, this is a chart of the dollar versus the rand. As this is going down, that means the U.S. dollar is losing value to the South African rand. And the gentleman says, where should I get out? He's been short this for quite some time. And what I'm looking at is if you look at those dotted lines on the bottom, that's the time frame that you're looking at. Your ABCD is equal in time, and you have an ABCD equal in price. So this is the area where you want to look at. So all I can tell you is I've never traded that. I've been to South Africa once back in 1988, but other than that, Mr. Bill said he's been to Morro Bay but didn't see Twentyman. You didn't tell me, because if you would have told me, he would have met you. He's a very nice fellow, actually. He's my oldest friend. I've known Jimmy 55 years, if you can believe that. Okay, let's get over to what really happens here. Folks, when I was at Drexel, had a lot of different things happen to me during that time. I'm going to try to cover all this if I can. And one of the most interesting things that happened was in 1979. I'd been at Drexel for 4 years at that time, and a lady came in and she wanted to open a gold account to trade gold, and I said no. I said I don't. I looked at her specifications, what her income was and everything, and I said, you're not suitable to trade commodities. And she was a very attractive woman in her probably around 54, 55 years old. She happened to be the best friend of one of my big bosses. I mean, one of the directors at Lilly. His wife and Mona were very good friends. Her name was Mona Dashoff. And I said, no, I said, you really shouldn't do this. And I got a call from the director, and he said, Larry, he said, how come you want to do this? And she's not qualified to do it. I said, it's very speculative. You could lose a lot of money if you're wrong. And she's only got, $250,000 in cash liquid assets. She didn't have anything backed up other than that. And I said, I don't think we should do it. And he said, okay, if you don't, well, I'll do it. And so there's a lot of, got a lot of heat from it. But she went across the street and she opened an account with Dean Witter. And this was 79, it's around Thanksgiving, as I recall. I remember it was a holiday time. And it must have been right around the first of the year. This was January 1980. Of course, the gold topped on January 20. She comes into my office with the wife of Bob, who is my director. And, she was showing me, Joanne didn't come in. Mona just came into my office and she put her statement down, how much money she had made. She had taken the $250,000. She put $100,000 into Dean Witter, and she ran the $100,000. She was at about $900,000 is how much she was up at that time. This was January of 1980. Well, guess you'll know what happened. Gold topped January 20th, and it broke from 860 to 400 without even taking a heartbeat. And she lost everything. She lost the whole 250,000. She answered a couple of margin calls that she didn't do, and she was really near suicide at that time. And Bob told me, he said, this is really bad. And he said, I wish you'd followed your advice. And I said, Bob, she can get all of her money back. And he says, what are you talking about? And I said, Bob, this is better than anybody, but it in stocks. It's the same as commodity. Rule 405, know your customer. And you have to really be, in those days, this was right after the CFT started in 75. And so I said, what she should do is get an attorney. And so I told her to get in touch with Eddie Horowitz, and Eddie looked at it and he said, this is a no-brainer. And by golly, guess what? She got her $250,000 back very quickly, because she was trading 10 and 20 contracts of gold. And when it's going up, it's great. When it's going down, it's not so good. But she got her money back because of Rule 405, know thy customer. And that's what I try to do here at TFNN. I know we got a lot of folks in here. We've had a heck of a year. It's been a very good year. We made a big move here in gold, and couple others that we're doing pretty good. But it's all about the amount of money that you risk, folks. And look, I respect the O'Briens for all the work they do. They got a great little business going with 1 million hits on YouTube this year, and all the people in the den are giving great information. But you got to be able to take responsibility for what you're doing here. I had no qualms about her getting her money back against Dean Witter, because when she opened that account, I called Barbara Jones. That was the broker she was using. I said, Barbara, you're going to get in trouble with this account because she's very aggressive. And she's, and she said, "Oh, mind your own business," is what we told me. Well, I minded my own business, and you can see what happened. So anyway, let's get back to the platinum here for a second. I forgot to bring this up. Hold on here. We come right up here. We'll be able to see here. This is what we have going in platinum now. This is a 4-hour chart. We've just made a Gartley pattern up here at the 61% retracement. Today's move in gold, boys and girls, was an exact 78% retracement in the, hold on to get the gold market up here for a second. We've got a break coming already. Shut the front door and raise the rent. There we go. There's the 78% level in the gold. I still think we got a chance for lower prices here late December, and I'll cover that when we get back from the break, because I think we have to pay a few bills. 877-927-6648.
If you're not currently using the TAS Profile Scanner when looking at setting up your trading opportunities, then your arsenal is short a mighty weapon. The TAS Profile Scanner is a standalone piece of software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, Taz understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. You also gain access to the webinar that Steve Dahl and Tom O'Brien just hosted, The Best Way to Use the Taz Profile Scanner to Profit. This webinar archive is available for all subscribers immediately upon signing up. All new subscriptions also come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Start your subscription by visiting the front page of TFNN.com today, and you'll find the Taz Profile Scanner under the Services tab. Sign up today. Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Do you have broken or unwanted jewelry, diamonds, watches, coins, silverware, and other collectibles that you would like to turn into cash? Tiger Precious Metals and Stones will pay fair market value. We make it easy to turn your precious metals that are sitting around in your house into cash. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 and he will walk you through our safe and secure process. Andy has been in the business buying and selling precious metals for over 15 years. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has just launched our Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. For a limited time, we've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses where you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars are good for all TFNN newsletters, webinars, and services and never expire. Whether you're a current subscriber or just thinking of signing up for any TFNN products in the future, this is a great time to get your Tiger Dollars. Happy holidays from all of us at TFNN.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
Okay, folks, I want to switch over to what's going on in the world with the old cycles and stuff. I think I posted a chart here from my book, Astro Cycles, A Trader's Viewpoint, done in 1987. And I wanted to, listen, I hope I did. Let me see if I did it right. Yep. No, I didn't. I better do it again. Just a second here. Hold on just a minute. Let's get it up here, right here. Here we go. This is what I want to talk about, okay? All right, this was one of those life-changing events, boys and girls. This is the bottom part of this. You can see the price chart up here, okay? And then the bottom part of this is the aspects. You'll notice the first dark arrow on the left. You see you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 conjunctions and a square and a trine during the time of October 1974. That was the bottom in the stock market. That's when I started to learn what was going on here. That was a bad day for me. Actually, it was a good day for me because it forced me to study for a year before I put another trade on. But anyway, you'll notice that we had all of those lined up like this. This was October. Now, you'll see the second bottom right there. That was the December bottom, okay? And this is a weekly chart. And if you'll take a look at this, you'll see that what happened was, let me see, 14. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I've double checked. Anyway, we had a double bottom in the Dow Jones at around $500 or $600 in the Dow Jones. It had come down from 1,073 in 1973. So we were in this 2-year bear market in stocks, and we bottomed. Second bottom came in right about now, right about December. I know it was December. I have to double check, but it was a double bottom, and that was the bottom of the stock market, and it was the it was the start of a real really big time. Now, I all I can tell you folks is I just look at the numbers and I look at the charts, and as I said here this morning here on the 16th of December. And what I should be doing and what I'm going to do are a little bit different, because I have to control risk because of the value of the customers that we have at TFNN, and many of you are my friends. So I can't always do the things for you that I do for myself. But what I'd like for you to think about is I think we're looking at something really major here in these next few weeks, and we have to be prepared for it. And I certainly think we should be. One of my very dear friends and one of the folks I do business with, last night it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, and these markets were running up pretty good. And he said, "Am I seeing what I think I'm seeing?" And I said, "Yeah, you probably are." But I said, we're in a time where these news items jump up. And he said, "Yeah, but," he said, "I'm a big boy. I'm going to try it." So he started to put his positions on, and he sold the S&P at 3,700. Put a stop at 3,722. And then he also sold the gold at 1868, and he sold the platinum at 40, I believe, 1,040, and he sold the what else did he do? He sold one other one. Oh, he sold the copper. Here was a really nice move that we were looking at in copper here overnight, because remember that copper chart looks very, very similar to where we're going on. Okay, the thoughts on the gold and silver. I've already talked about the gold. I'll bring it up again. Let's just here's what I think in long-term platinum, folks. This has got a real chance. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but this has got, you can see that last ABCD we had, back in October, that was a 382 retracement there at 860. We're now trading at 1050. And so, I still think we're going to go a lot higher in platinum. That 1.618 expansions at 1320. That's $250. It can do that. It can do that when gold goes down, because the reason why is, platinum is not conceived as a precious metal anymore. It's basically an industrial metal like palladium and some of the others, rhodium, and some of those other really crazy ones that are very, very expensive. So that's what I'll be watching. On the shorter term, this is what we were looking at here, the gold, and I still think I think we're getting it ready for a really major. Be able to see what you're out. Yeah, hold on just a second here. You can see here we hit that exact 78% level at 1868. The high was 1869.20 or something like that. We backed off about $16, $17. There should have been strong support on this pullback at 1850. I don't know if it's done that or not. Let me double check here, and we'll see if we've held that level or not. And sure enough, we've jumped up. We got back to 1861 without too much trouble at all. So let's just show you what we're watching at here, and you'll be able to see what we're taking a gander at here this morning. The reason why I'm meandering on here, I know you don't think I'm thinking about this, but I did a lot of thinking about it last night. What I see in these charts, and believe me, I don't know enough about astrology to take anybody to dinner, but I know looking at these numbers and the things that happened in the past, something big is out there, folks. It really is. It's just really, we're going to find out. We got some great volatility coming up at the new time of the year, and I think it's going to be really, really exciting for sure. So we need to pay attention to what we're watching here. So that's what I'm looking at tonight, and we're watching it very, very closely. Here's another one, just to give you an example here of the Treasury bonds. Remember here in Treasury bonds, going back into the summertime, they were telling us that, that we're getting ready for zero interest rates. That was in the news everywhere. And in fact, China issued $1.5 billion in negative interest rates, folks, and they were oversubscribed. I wish my grandpa was here. I'd put him on the show. Anyway, why, give me a break, folks. Why do you pay somebody to lose money? Give me a break. Try it yourself, for crying out loud. Anyway, we've got this really strong downtrend now since August in the bonds. You can see every time it rallies and boom, we've been looking at that all the time. That's not a big deal, but stop and think about negative interest rates, folks. Sure, they can give you the line of whatever they want to tell you, but by golly, look at the charts. I mean, they can lie to you, they can cheat you, they can give you misinformation, but they can't hide from you. If prices are going down, there's more sellers. If prices are going up, there are more buyers. That's basically it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of tests on these, that's for sure. And we'll see what goes on in these markets as we look through these things right here. So we'll see what's going on. Okay. Yes, hold on one second here. We did get out of the British pound at break even. That rallied back more than I thought, but I still think we're getting ready. I'll do the dollar index here before we get to Jim 20, but because let's get it up here. You'll see here the dollar has been. Oh, wait a minute. Let's get it up here. There we go. Okay, here's the dollar. As you can see here, it's still got a price objective of 88.50. Once we went below 91.20, folks, that was the key level to pay attention to, because when we broke that told us we were going to go at least to the 1.618, and we're almost there today. That's at 90. So watch that number. That's going to be a really key number, and that's the same number we're watching in the euro, which is at 122, and that's hit it also. So we'll probably we'll be watching it. We're going to be right back. 877-927-6648.
Larry Pesavento watches the markets 24/7, and now is a great time to try out his daily trading service, Fibonacci 24/7. Larry publishes videos and charts for subscribers throughout the week when warranted, and every weekend he puts out a thorough report covering worldwide markets, futures, commodities, and currencies with Fibonacci retracement levels, possible trading setups and zones, and stops and targets for all recommendations included. Larry applies the principles he's developed over decades of trading while analyzing a variety of markets for subscribers. To see for yourself the types of videos, charts, and analysis that Larry provides for his subscribers, sign up for Fibonacci 24/7 today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. You'll also gain instant access to Larry's archived subscriber webinar from earlier this year. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today. If you're a trader in the market looking to find the path that leads to maximizing profits while decreasing risk, then now is a great time to try out Dave White's daily trading service, The Path of Least Resistance. Through the use of options and equity trades, Dave advises his subscribers on a daily basis of the current market conditions and what possible trade setups are on the horizon. The Path of Least Resistance is published every trading morning, often with updates intraday when initiating trades or closing out positions. Dave White has advised his clients of some outstanding winning options and equity trades in recent months, and now is a great time to try it out for yourself. New subscribers to the Path of Least Resistance receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the types of options and equity trades that are available by signing up for the Path of Least Resistance today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com and selecting the newsletter tab. Sign up today. TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we're back, and we have a mystery guest today, by the way, coming through Homer, New York, all the way out to Morro Bay, California. Jim Twentyman is on the air and in the house. JT, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, looking good, Billy Ray, feeling good, Lewis. Folks, Jim is my oldest friend. We met in 1965. Oldest friend still alive. Most of them have gone up to the trading place in the sky. But, JT, I have to tell the folks a story. My favorite story, and we've got so many, is Jim used to come out to the house and have dinner with us out in Westlake Village about at least once a month. And he would always bring one of his girlfriends along. So we're having dinner, and both of my daughters, I think they were about 5 and 6 at the time. They were both thumb suckers. They sucked their thumbs all the time. Did everything. I spent thousands of dollars on psychology and stuff. And Jim's at the table, and Jim had it was a lawnmower accident, wasn't it, Jim? That you lost your fingers?
Yeah, I was 7 years old, and my brother and I were playing farm. We were chopping up some hay, and he was 4 years old, and we got our signals crossed at 4 and 7.
Oh, dear. And you lost your 2 little fingers on your left hand, wasn't it?
Yeah, I lost my first digit on the middle and the ring finger on my right hand.
Oh, dear. Well, anyway, Jill said to Jim, she said, Jim, what happened to your fingers? And Jim, out of the clear blue sky, said, oh, I used to suck my fingers when I was little. And both of my kids that night never sucked their thumbs again. Do you remember that, Jimmy? I remember I said, they can't believe it. I said they stopped just by watching that. And they never did anymore. And here they are, 50 and 51, and they're still not sucking their fingers. Anyway, hey, JT, this was mid-December, and when we were at Drexel, Jim was with me for quite a few years there. Do you remember how wonderful it was with the atmosphere? I think we had 22 Jewish brokers and 3 Goyas, non-Jews, in the office, and they would have the big Christmas tree and the big parties and stuff. Do you want to tell some of the folks some of the memories that you might, if you could go back that far, you're talking 40-some years. But we had so much fun together, and his office and my office were side by side. They were all private offices, and Jim and I were on the phone too much talking that Bob came in, and he actually had a window cut out. You remember they cut the window out so you and I could just talk without being on the phone?
Yeah, we had a little window between the offices, a little open window. Yeah, that was wonderful.
Do you have any special memories of the Drexel days, Jim?
Well, just a couple of the Jewish people, they'd have to me they were tempers, but that was normal behavior for them, and they would. People would come in, or somebody say, well, I want to buy this, and the broker would really get upset at the customer and say, why you want to do that?
Yeah, they did everything to protect the customers, for sure. That's the main thing. Jim, when you helped me write the book, Astrocycles, The Trader's Viewpoint, with Dr. Miller, we worked with Neil Michelson, down in San Diego and stuff. And Jim has a great grasp of astrology and stuff. But Jim, the thing that the most people are interested in, tell the folks how you found harmonic numbers, because I always talk about that and give you credit for it. But boy, to me, these things they're just really amazing how they work, and they still work after 40-some years. You want to tell the folks how you got started looking at that?
Well, there was 2 guys at the investment center, and there was what was the guy's name that owned the investment center?
Don Mack. That was the folks where that's where all the books were. Where I got the Gartley book in 1970. Yeah, no, Little Santa Monica and I can't remember the cross street, but anyway, that's where it was. Yeah, go ahead.
And they had he had all the old investment books. And then there was a guy, Jerry Bommering, who came along. He's been dead 28 years. He died when he was 49. And we would go to collect these old books at the used bookstores, which really aren't in existence anymore. And we'd go into a store, and he'd probably buy, 10, 20, sometimes 30 books, used books. to come in and keep these investment type books, and then we'd always go to the occult book section, and we would look at books that had numbers. Sometimes things that were relative to, say, how the universe moved and all that stuff, and you'd read some really far out stuff. But after a long period of time, it kind of gelled. I kept seeing the same group of numbers over and over and over. And finally, it kind of revolved back to the circle was the main genesis of the number, but there'd be a lot of others. Even Gann had some of those numbers. If you read some of his work real carefully, those numbers would appear, I remember like 5625, which is, a division of a circle, 5.625. So they would go down to quite minute levels. And, even the Bible would have a lot of these numbers. And there would be a lot of people that would have writings like theocracy writings, and the old Greek writings would have pentameters comes to mind, but they were number of letters that were in a sentence, and it was quite intricate. I never got into how they were able to do that, but some of those numbers appeared there even in the old languages before the Romans even.
Yeah. Hey, Jimmy, were you there when Mary Rivers would come in? I can't remember because I think she was there in '77, and I can't remember. You came in around '78, I think. Was she still around when you came in? The silver lady from Dean Winter that used to come in and buy silver or sell silver. She never sold silver. She bought silver twice a month. Were you still around when she was there?
Yes, she. The full moon and the new moon were a big part of what she did. It wasn't the only thing, but she was quite successful, as I remember, for a year or two, which maybe not a long time. But then I don't quite remember. She kind of just faded away, and it didn't work as well as it used to. But it was pretty good for a while.
Yeah, well, she was trading the bull market. She was only buying silver. She never went short. She never used stops. But that 2-day window that she was in, she was started using moon and Scorpio, I think, when the sign changed. And but she would buy it, and by the end of the 2.5 days of trading, it would be back up again. So I remember that pretty good. So that's JT. Jim and I talk several times a week, and we were reminiscing about Jim's airplane. He had an airplane, and I remember the time he said that he talked me into going up to Salt Lake City or Provo, Utah. We'll be right back. 870. Jim, can you stay with us? 877-927-6648.
Hi, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. The printing presses are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The U.S. deficit has risen 200% in 1 year with no end in sight. The markets are looking for an additional stimulus bill to get us through this once-in-a-generation pandemic. There is no free lunch, folks. The more stimulus dollars put into the marketplace, the less your dollar is worth each and every day. This is the time to protect yourself with a portion of your portfolio in the metal market. The Gold Report comes out each Monday morning. I bisect and dissect the dollar, silver, gold, the XAU, and the HUI. The Gold Report is a long-term hedge against the dilution of your buying power. The U.S. has put more than $6 trillion into the marketplace in the last 6 months, with more expected in the next few months. The market did and does need the stimulus, but it will have long-term implications on our buying power. The Gold Report comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to TFNN.com and order the Gold Report now. Protect your buying power. Order the Gold Report now.
Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi folks, this is Tom O'Brien. Are you looking to buy or sell gold, silver, platinum, coins, or bullion? We can help. At Tiger Precious Metals and Stones, we specialize in the buying and selling of gold, silver, as well as collectible U.S. and foreign coins. We not only buy your unwanted or broken jewelry, but you can trade that in for gold and silver coins too. Call Andy now at 727-329-8245 for a quote over the phone and to lock in the current market price. Call us now at 727-329-8245.
TFNN has just launched our Tiger Dollar Holiday Sale. For a limited time, we've doubled all the Tiger Dollar bonuses, where you can now get up to a 20, 30, or even a 40% bonus on your Tiger Dollar purchase. Tiger Dollars are good for all TFNN newsletters, webinars, and services and never expire. Whether you're a current subscriber or just thinking of signing up for any TFNN products in the future, this is a great time to get your Tiger Dollars. Happy holidays from all of us at TFNN.
The Bull Bear Trading Hour with Tom and Tommy O'Brien. Next.
Okay, we're back, folks. I'm talking with my old friend, Jim Twentyman from the old Drexel days. Hey, Jim, I want to tell two stories, and then I want to ask you a couple things that I can't remember going back that far, but I know you can. What was it? You had a Cessna? Is that what you had, that plane?
I had a Turbo Arrow, which was equivalent of the 210 Cessna.
Uh-huh.
Cessna 210.
I remember you invited me to fly up to Provo, Utah, and so we went up there, and we were about an hour outside of Provo, and clouds were really bad, and he said, "You make sure you can handle a little turbulence here," and folks, it was so bad, I never flew again in a private plane, a little plane like that, but I got out of the plane in Provo, and I literally got to my knees and kissed the ground because it was so turbulent. Of course, Jim was really calm. He didn't have any trouble, but Jim, you remember when you had the Carrera, you bought that Porsche Carrera, and we drove it to Vegas to play blackjack, and we were going about 140 miles an hour, and that's the fastest I've ever been in a car, and we slowed down to about 100, and it was there's no traffic on 15 at that time, and a Ferrari passed us. You remember that, Jim? It was a red Ferrari went by us, and we were going 100 miles an hour, and he passed us like we were standing still. And then when we got to Las Vegas, we pulled into to get gas, and the state policeman was there, and he came up to us, and I hope I remember it right. He came up to us and he said, "Did you see the red Ferrari in here?" We were going 110, and he wasn't even concerned about that. And we said, "Yeah, but he was going so fast that we didn't." He said, "Well, we lost him." And I said, "Well, that's at least he didn't wreck anything." So we were lucky that night too. Hey, JT, how did you ever get to California? Being from Homer, New York, I met you in '65 when you were in a Clayton brokerage. How did you get to California from Homer in 1965?
Well, I was working as a broker for in Philadelphia area, and I was on the trading desk at Vanguard at the time, and I had talked to this a man named Dick Ulmer. I don't know if he's still alive or not, and he had a newsletter and he had a huge following, and he wanted me to start the brokerage part of his business and be a broker for some of his clients. And so we did that. And he was good friends with Larry Williams. And I ended up having Larry Williams' accounts also at the time. And that was interesting times, and you got, you know, it was good training.
Oh, that's for sure. Is that when Larry had what was that called? Commodity commodity timing. He had Michelle Noseworthy. Yeah.
Yes, and he was on. I think he was on Channel 22 in L.A. I don't know if he was on every day or what, but he had a huge following, and he had some huge clients. They would come in, and you know, in those days, like $100,000 account was like a million.
That was big. Yeah.
And I remember a few of those, and I just couldn't believe the people that they attracted, because, you know, here I am, a broker, struggling to open accounts that were $5,000 and $10,000, which was pretty good money in those days. But they just they were like rocket ships to get to the right people who had the money. And then, of course, L.A. had a lot of people with, you know, I'd say too much money. You know, they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Boy, there was a bunch of them around there too. When did you move over to Conti? It was when they first opened there in the McCulloch Oil Building in '69, right? Isn't that when you moved over to work with Roy?
Yeah, it was about a year after that. I went to work at Clayton Brokerage, which was an old mine commodity guys, and they were some guys that were probably in their 50s and 60s and had a ton of experience, and I learned a lot from them.
Yeah,
there was
Earl Hannity, Jim Sibbett, yeah, all those guys. Yeah. John Hurd, remember him? But he was a great soybean trader. And Ricky the Rocket Barnes, he was right there too.
Yeah, he was too. Yeah, a lot of guys who did really well. There was a guy I went to see out in Pasadena, and I'm sorry his name escapes me right now.
Dave Nelson.
Yeah, Dave Nelson. And, you know, to this day, Roy Fassel will call me up, and he says, "We got a Nelson line here." And I think you and I went out there, and he showed us how he drew that on chart. And it was an amazing hole. It's real simple. It's you would take the low or the high of any move, and you draw a line on, let's say you take a low bar, and you draw a line on the high of the low bar, and I would say the pullback is right to that line within a couple ticks, sometimes right on it lots of times. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I still use that when I'm looking at bottoms. And when I see that, my eyes just light up, because I got them then, you know?
Yeah, well, we call that the 20-man line here at TFNN, because I talk about it all the time when I see it. I remember you showing me that, and it was, really, exciting to see. But gosh, we did live in a time there when things were just getting started. You know, people don't realize that, but the CFTC didn't start until 1975, and the NFA was 3 years after that. So there was really very little regulation. You remember the brokerage companies set what the margins were. You could actually trade in a debit balance. I mean, I had to do it once, and Rick Barnes had to do it once, and there were a couple others that were in there. But look at the people. Mike Marcus, the silver guy that's so famous, and what was his name? The big currency guy. His name escapes me right now, but so many of those guys were trading, out of that office there. So it was really, really an exciting time. And Ladd Hitch, you did a lot of work with Ladd Hitch, the cattle guy out of Guayman, Oklahoma, who he did about 40% of the meat business for McDonald's. Wasn't Ladd Hitch your customer?
Yeah, he was pretty substantial. He had a son. I met his son at some kind of a seminar one time, and we just turned out to be good friends because of my ranch background. We would talk all the time about where the business was headed and what was going on.
Wow, that's good. Anyway, listen, we've taken too much time, but gosh, I love reminiscing with you. We do it on the phone anyway. But Jim, thank you for joining us today, and have a wonderful time. Are you locked down over there in Morro Bay? You're not doing anything, are you?
Yeah, not much. It's pretty quiet. They're a little more loose this time, but it's pretty locked down. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, listen, are you still riding your bike about 20 miles a week or whatever you do?
No, I'm still doing almost 100 miles a week. I'm under 100 miles now.
Oh, my goodness.
I try to do that.
I remember once when you were living up in Denver, when you worked for CQG, and were trading with Rick up there, that you were coming down the mountain and you had a wreck. Hey, listen, thanks for joining us, buddy. Happy holidays. And we'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Okay, take care, Larry.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Back in the day, I joined Hotel California in 2006, and like many of you, was drawn in by, as well as...
Whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows.
You see, I believe that everything in life happens for us, not to us. And Tom ignited the fire within me to want to learn how to master the markets. So how did I go from knowing nothing about technical analysis to becoming the #1 market timer for the S&P 500 in 2018 and the #2 market timer in 2019? Simply put, I hired coaches with a proven track record, which led me to a whole new set of tools that I created to interpret the message of buyers and sellers. I would love the opportunity to teach you this award-winning set of tools and to help you improve your market timing. You can test drive my newsletter service, Mastering Probabilities, for the next 30 days with no risk to you. Plus, you'll gain access to archive workshops that'll take you step-by-step through my system. Sign up today by going to the homepage of TFNN.com and selecting Mastering Probability in the newsletter tab.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
With markets trading with extreme volatility and peaks and troughs everywhere, regardless of what you're looking at in the markets, this is a great time to see the type of analysis Basil Chapman delivers for his subscribers every market day with the Opening Call newsletter. Basil has been analyzing markets, providing his take for subscribers to his trading services since 1984. Every morning, Basil publishes an update for his subscribers, along with weekend and evening updates when warranted. The Opening Call provides traders a daily market overview with regard to the direction of the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, along with specific recommendations, including stops and targets. You also gain instant access to Basil's subscriber webinar archive from earlier this year, a dark cloud cover, and essential market analysis. Ride the Chapman wave today by signing up for the Opening Call newsletter on the front page of TFNN.com under the newsletter tab. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Okay, folks, we have Jeff on the line from Philadelphia. Jeff, how are you doing?
Hi, doing great. How are you, Larry?
Very good. I posted the 20-minute line into the Tiger Den. You'll be able to take a look at it. It was the gold. And it basically,
I'm sorry, I'm not actually in the Tiger Den. Do you think you could display it on the show?
I did. It should be archived there. I've just put it up, so it should be archived there for you to be able to take a quick look at it. But it's right there. And hey, Jeff, if you don't get it, if you'll just drop me an email Larry Pesavento at gmail.com. I'll send it out to you, but it's a pretty easy one to see, and it's right there. So take a look at it. But you have a question about the 20-minute line? Is that what it was?
Yeah. I was a little confused about how he uses it. So once he sees it, he said it helps him find the bottom?
Yes, and that's what you're looking at. You take the old highs, and when they connect the old highs to the new low, you got a good spot. But he looks at a lot of different things. He's watching, how the market's acting, market feedback, of course, and that bottom, what percent retracement is it? Is it 50%, 618, 786? That's pretty much what's going on here.
Oh, okay. He's looking at the retracement from the previous up leg.
Yes, that's correct. That's exactly right.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's archived.
Yeah, I just wanted to see what he was referring to. Thank you.
Hey, listen, thank you very much, and thank you for calling in. And the best to you and your family. Stay safe and have a wonderful holiday.
Oh, thanks. Same to you, Larry. I appreciate you all you do very much. I look forward to your show every morning.
The check's in the mail, pal. So hopefully, I thank you very much. It's very nice to hear that. Okay, thanks a lot, buddy.
All
okay,
right, take
folks.
care. Bye-bye.
You bet. We got one other chart that we need to cover here, and I can't find it. Son of a gun. Where is it? It is, the Russell. Let's get it up here. We've got this big Russell here. It's blowing out to the upside here. This has been leading the market ever since March, folks, and especially since November. It's just been in a one-way rocket ship up here. We've made major targets in the NASDAQ, of course, and then also the S&P 500 up there at 3,700. Whether it means anything or not, we'll know in the next day or two. So live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless.